Welcome back to the road trip. Kingdom Builders Road Trippers, right? Akeem and Akatim, brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, aunties and uncles, grandmas and grandpas. Everybody in the house, shalom, peace and blessings, right? Peace and blessings to your homes, your dwelling places where you stay at, your dwellings, right? Your children, your loved ones, your friends, and of course those little fur babies, man, them pets. The little pets, man. We love them too. That's right. All praises, man. Oh boy. Are we out of water? Oh shoot. Look at that, man. Unprepared. But good thing I drank a lot of water, so I had a little left. All praises to the Most High Abba Yahweh, right? Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Honors to the Ruach HaKodesh. And my love and my respect goes out to you, right? Kingdom Builders. I love y'all. And remember that this is a mission. This is a lifestyle. It's not a show. This is not entertainment. This is not meant to be entertainment. And if you find this to be entertainment or something to do, you're in the wrong place. This is supposed to be edification, resources, edification for the nation, right? Edification resources for those who are really serious in this walk. You know? It's not a playground. It's not a sandbox. All right. So we're serious about this, Kingdom Builders, Road Trippers. So if you're getting in the back seat, right, and ready for this road trip, understand the position and where we're operating from, the ruach where we're operating from. There's no foolishness over here, no false doctrines over here. We literally read straight from the books, from the scrolls. We read them. I can put them on the screen, right? So what you're getting is not coming from me. If you do get anything from me, it's the Ruach speaking through me. This is not my opinions. I'm a mere man. Nothing special about me. Nothing whatsoever. And if you ever think something like that, you're wrong and you're operating in error. No respect of persons. You love us, you love each other, you respect each other with love, but you never honor man, right? You honor the Ruach. You glorify Yahweh Shai, right? You give all praises to the Most High Abba Yahweh. That's what it is, man. And that's what it always has to be. That's righteous order. There's only one way to walk this walk. It's a tightrope. You don't get leeway here. Okay? And if that offends you, I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry. And you will never hear me ask for forgiveness or apologies to a person, to a human, when I know that I'm operating out of these scrolls that the Most High gave to his sons and his daughters, those who want to truly walk in truth and righteousness. This is not about control. It's about understanding who's in control. And to truly understand him, you got to give credence. You got to give respect, honor, and due to his word, not your beliefs or what you feel. Take your feelings out of this. So anyway, what are we doing? We're back in the works of Flavius Josephus, man, the Antiquities of the Yahudim. That's right, man. Book number 4. This is going to be chapter 3 concerning how those that stirred up this rebellion were destroyed according to the will of the Most High Yahweh, and how Aharon, Moshe's brother, both he and his posterity retained the priesthood. Now, that's kind of fitting. How those that stirred up this rebellion were destroyed according to the will of the Most High Yahweh. Wow. Josephus, man, I love your works right now. You know, you're speaking from a time that we're no longer living in, right? But you're talking to the current nation right now. If you have these works available to you, please bring them out. And I can't make this up. Look at this. Read that right there. Chapter 3. Right there. Chapter 3. What does that say? Freeze your screen. Alright. Okay. So we're about to get into that right now. If you have these works available, either if you're reading in the hard copy, like myself, or if you got the blue screen following along on that cell phone, tablet, whatever media you got, I would just love to have you read with me. Read with your eye, all right? Love it. Love it. All right? No further ado, ladies and gentlemen, fellas in the back, please sit down. You already know the drill by now. We're getting ready to read. All right, all praises to the Most High. Inshallah. All right, chapter 3. Let's begin. Alright, Book 4, Chapter 3, Section 1, and it reads, When Moshe had said this, the multitude left off the turbulent behavior they had indulged and suspicion they had of Moshe, and commanded what he had said, for those proposals were good, and were so esteemed of the people. Right. Page flip. Don't want to rip anything. At that time, therefore, they dissolved the assembly. But on the next day they came to the congregation in order to be present at the sacrifice and at the determination that was to be made between the candidates for the priesthood. Now this congregation proved a turbulent one, and the multitude were in great suspense in expectation of what was to be done. For some of them would have been pleased if Moshe had been convicted of evil practices. But the wiser sort desired that they might be delivered from their present disorder and disturbance, for they were afraid that if this rebellion went on, the good order of their settlement would rather be destroyed. But the whole body of the people do naturally delight in grumbling against the governors, and by changing their opinions upon arguments of every speaker, disturb the public tranquility. And now Moshe sent messengers for Abiram and Dathan, and ordered them to come to their assembly, right, and wait there for the Kodesh offices that were to be performed. But they answered the messenger that they would not obey this summons. They would not obey his summons, nor would they overlook Moshe's behavior, who was growing too great for them by evil practices. Now when Moshe heard of this, their answer, he desired the heads of the people to follow him. And he went to the faction of Dathan, not thinking it any frightful thing at all to do, or to go to the insolent people. So they made no opposition, but went along with them. They went with their leader. Righteous people. There's always a remnant. Always a remnant. Always a remnant. All right, so look, let's continue. But Dathan and his associates, when they understood that Moshe and the principal of the people were coming to them, came out with their wives and children and stood before their tents and looked to see what Moshe would do. They had also their servants about them to defend themselves in case Moshe should use force against them. They were always fearful, right? That's the end of section 1. And, the righteous fear the Most High. And the righteous are covered. They fear the Most High only. We don't fear police. We don't fear governments. We don't fear flags. We don't fear dominions and powers and authorities and, coalitions, right? And confederacies, 83. We don't fear none of that. We fear retribution from our brothers and sisters, our Akim and Akatim, Salake, Yah and Salake, right? Akim and Akatim. We fear rejection from our family. We fear rejection from the Most High Yahweh, Abana Yahweh, right? If we're not walking in the right path of Yahweh Shai, our King, right? Our King, the righteous one of Yahsharal. That's correct. Let's continue on to section 2. I'm not going to say Salake for the interjection. All things In the Ruach. That's right, man. All praises to the Most High. Let's continue on, man. Let's get some more of this. Section 2 reads, "But he came near and lifted up his hands to heaven and cried out with a loud voice in order to be heard by the whole multitude and said, O Most High, O Yahweh, O Adonai of the creatures that are in heaven and earth and in the sea, for you are the most authentic witness to what I have done, that it has all been done by your appointment, and that it was you that afforded us assistance when we attempted anything, and showed mercy on the Hebrews in all their distresses. Do you come now and hear all that I say, for no action or thought escapes your knowledge, so that you will not disdain to speak what is true for my vindication, without any regard to the ungrateful imputations of these men. As for what was done before I was born, you know best, as not learning them by report, but seeing them and being present with them when they were done. But for what has been done of late, and which these men, although they know them well enough, unjustly pretend to suspect, be you my witness." He's talking to the Most High. Be you my witness, because there's a lot of people out here who are going to slander your name. They're going to talk behind your back. And, you know, a lot of Yasharallah is not really Yasharallah. A lot of people slander your name. They in your face, they're your brother, they're your sister, they love you. They talk bad behind you. Pay attention. And it said, what did it say? It said, justly pretend to suspect. Be you my witness, asking the Most High. You're my witness, not necessarily the people right in front of me. All right, let's continue. When I lived a private, quiet life, I left those good things which by my own diligence and by your counsel I enjoyed with Reuel, my father-in-law, and gave myself up to this people, and underwent many miseries on their account. I also bore great labors at first, in order to obtain liberty for them, and now in order to their preservation, and have always shown myself ready to assist them in every distress of theirs. Now therefore, since I am suspected by those very men whose being is owing in my labors, come to you, as it is reasonable to hope you will, you, I say, who show me that fire at Mount Sinai and made me to hear his voice, and hear this voice, right? Interjecting. Sometimes you can give your all, like Moshe gave his all to the people, and they still hated him. They still hated him. Because it's in the ruach of an unrighteous to hate the will of a righteous order of the Most High Yahweh. Therefore, hating the ruach of a righteous man. And let's continue. And made me to hear its voice, and to see the several wonders which this place afforded me, you who commanded me to go to Mizraim and declare your will to this people. You who disturbed the happy estate of the Egyptians and gave us the opportunity of flying away from our slavery under them, and made the dominion of Pharaoh inferior to my dominion, you who did make the sea dry land for us. Remember the crossing of the sea, when we knew not where to go, and did overwhelm the Egyptians with those destructive waves which had been divided for us. You who did bestow upon us the security of weapons when we were naked. You who did make the fountains that were corrupted to flow, so as to be fit for drinking, and did furnish us with the water that came out of the rocks when we were in the greatest want of it. We were in the greatest want of it. You who did preserve our lives with quails, which was food from the sea, when the fruits of the ground failed us. You who did send us such food from heaven, from the Shamayims, Naga, from the Shamayims, as had never been seen before. You who did suggest to us the knowledge of your laws and appoint us a government. Come you, I say, O Adonai, come Adonai of the whole world, and that as such a judge and a witness to me as cannot be bribed, and show how I have admitted of any gift against justice from any of the Hebrews, right? Yahudim, and have never condemned a poor man that ought to have been acquitted on account of one that was rich, and have never attempted to hurt this commonwealth. The commonwealth of what? See, that's the thing, man. You hear the word commonwealth. I'm interjecting. Commonwealth of what? The commonwealth of the nation. See, you hear like Virginia's a commonwealth. Like, look up a commonwealth state, right? It's a confederacy, but it's not in a righteous manner, right? It's not under righteousness. The and the only commonwealth is the kingdom of Yahweh. Do you understand? There's only one true commonwealth. And we're going to continue to read about it. Let's continue. And what does it say? It says, and it reads, I am now here present, and am suspected of a thing far from my intentions, as if I had given the priesthood to Aharon, not at your command, but out of my own favor to him. Do you at this time demonstrate that all things are administered by your providence, and that nothing happens by chance, but as governed by your will, and thereby attains its end? As also demonstrate that you take care of those that have done good to the Hebrews. Oh my goodness. You demonstrate that you take care of those that have done good to the Hebrews? For real? Demonstrate this, I say, by the punishment of Abiram and Dathan, who condemned you as an insensible being, and one overcome by my contrivances, however you want to say it, it doesn't matter to me. Let's read. This will you do by inflicting such an open punishment on these men who so madly fly in the face of your glory, as will take them out of the world, not in an ordinary manner, but so that it may appear they do not die after the manner of other men. Let the ground which they tread upon open about them and consume them with their families and goods. Wow, you see this? So what you read in the KJV wasn't just the Most High's will. Of course it was his will, but it was specifically requested, and he answered in that specific request, and he granted. Wow. Are you picking this up? Are you smelling what I'm stepping in, man? Pay attention, man. Come on. Let's go. Let's read some more. This continues on. You got to imagine, a man is talking to the Most High, Yahweh. And he says, and it reads, this will be a demonstration of your power to all men, and this method of your sufferings will be an instruction of wisdom, Salake, for those that entertain profane sentiments of you. By this means I shall be found a good servant in the precepts you have given by me. But if the slanders they have raised against me be true, may you preserve these men from every evil incident, and bring all that destruction on me, which I have imprecated upon them. And when you have inflicted punishment on those that have tried to deal unjustly with this people, bestow upon them concord and peace. Save this multitude that follow your commandments, and preserve them free from harm, and let them not partake of the punishment of those that have sinned. For you know yourself, it is not just that for the wickedness of those men, the whole body of the Israelites, the Yasharallah camp, the Yasharallah family, should suffer punishment. So for me, right? That's the end of section 2, by the way. But for me, Yahweh, if I am wrong, if I am unjust at anything, then righteously judge me. Or send one of my righteous brothers out here to chastise me. If I walk in unrighteousness, then Jeremiah 23, 1 and 2 will punish me, but not for the nation. You understand what it's saying? And if you can't walk like that, it's not me. It's about us. What can we do to make sure that we can please him? Him. It's all about him. And through him, We build us. And through us, you will receive the blessings for you. All right? Cool. Let's get section 3. And then we're going to hit a note. Oh, no. We got a section 4 too. Okay. Let's get section 3. Let's continue. Mishpachah, family and friends. Akim and Akatim, road trippers. Right? That's right. Kingdom builders. Let's spice it up. See you soon. Let's get some more. Let's go. Section 3. When Moshe had said this, with tears in his eyes, the ground was moved on a sudden, and the agitation that set it in motion was like that which the wind produces in waves of the sea. The people were all frightened, and the ground that was about their tents sunk down at the great noise with a terrible sound, and carried whatever was dear to the rebellious into itself. It swallowed itself up. Right? If you ever seen that Star Wars movie where the sand was just going into a pit and there was like a mouth just like eating everything, imagine that like this, okay? But they were falling into a precipice of the pit, going straight down immediately. Let's continue reading. Who so entirely perished that there was not the least appearance that any man had ever been seen there, the earth that had opened itself about them, closing again, and becoming entire as it was before, insomuch that such as saw it afterwards did not perceive that any such incident had happened to it. Wow, boy! Thus did these men perish and become a demonstration of the power of the Most High Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And truly, anyone would grieve for them, not only on account of this calamity that befell them, which yet deserves our commiseration, but also because their family were pleased with their sufferings, for they forgot the relation they bore to them, and at the sight of this sad incident approved of the judgment given against them. And because they looked upon the people about Dathan as pestilent men, they thought they perished as such. Salake. They thought they perished as such. They're like, man, these men were pitiful, so they deserve what they got, and did not grieve for them. That's the end of section 3. We got one more section to read and one note to hit the door. It's gonna be section 4 to the door. Okay, let's get this, Mishpachah. All right. That's right, man. I love y'all, man. All praises to the Most High. Shalom. Let's get some more. All right, Mishpachah, section 4 to the door, and it reads: And now Moshe called for those that contended about the priesthood, that trial might be made who should be priest, and that he who sacrificed the Most High Yahweh was best pleased with might be ordained to that function. And attended 250 men. Oh boy, sounds like Korah, who indeed were honored by the people, not only on account of the power of their ancestors, but also on account of their own, in which they excelled the others. They were rich, right? Aharon also and Korah came forth, and they all offered incense in those censers of theirs which they brought with them before the tabernacle of the congregation. But so great a fire shone out as no one had ever saw in any that is made by the hand of man, neither in those eruptions out of the earth that are caused by underground burnings, nor in such fires as arise out of their own accord in the woods, when the fire is caused by the trees rubbing against one another. But this fire was very bright, and had a terrible flame, such as is kindled at the command of the Most High Yahweh, by whose invasion on them all the company and Korah himself were destroyed, and this so entirely that their very bodies left no remains behind them. Aharon alone was preserved, and not at all hurt by the fire, because it was the Most High Yahweh that sent the fire to burn those only who ought to be burned. He has his sons, he has his daughters. Do not step out of line in any kind of way. Do you understand? As before, so again, as above, so below. We are given these righteous scrolls and texts so we can learn not to repeat these things. But those who are unlearned will. Let's continue. But Moshe, after these men were destroyed, was desirous that the memory of this judgment might be delivered down to posterity, and that future ages might be acquainted with it. And so he commanded Eleazar the son of Aharon to put their censers near the brazen altar, that they might be a memorial of posterity of what these men suffered. For supposing that the power of the Most High Yahweh might be eluded, and thus Aharon was now no longer esteemed to have the priesthood by the favor of Moshe, but by the public judgment of the Most High Yahweh. And thus he and his children peaceably enjoyed that honor afterward. And it was a demonstration. You can't step out of order. If the Most High puts somebody in a place, in an office to perform a certain task, and they're doing it righteously in the walk, then anyone who steps up against that is like Korah and the 250 who brought the censers of strange fire, and it wasn't working. They came here and they were burnt on these horns. Do you understand? That's scripture. And it's backed up because we can go back into the KJV and you can read the same thing. I'm not angry, I'm passionate. Fired up, man. This is what Ruach looks like when it's activated. Do you understand me? Right? This is activation like level 8, right? Maybe level 7, right? Can you imagine when our nation gets to level 10? My heavens. Shamayim. Alright. We're going to read this one note. Take it to the door, man. Love y'all. All praises to the Most High. Naga. That's right. Naga. Book 4. Chapter 3. Notes. Note 1.1, and there's only one point, and it reads, it appears here from the Samaritan Pentateuch, right? And in effect from the psalmist, it also from the apostolical constitutions, from Clement's first epistle to the Corinthians, from Ignatius's epistle to the Magnesians, and from Eusebius, and Korah was not swallowed up with the Reubenites, but burnt with the Levites of his own tribe. See essay on the Old Testament, pages 64 through 65. And that's all they got on that. All right, cool. Yeah. Say long. So yeah. So yeah, that's what we got on that, man. That's what we got on that. And we're going to go ahead and close this one out. We're not going to make this one super long. Just wanted to drop something. I was waiting for my brothers to drop some righteousness on that live stream tonight, man. But they postponed. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to try to fill the gap for the nation. All praise to the Most High. I cannot wait. Because if they delayed something, that means they're coming with some more fire. And that's just good news for everybody, for everybody, for all of us, right? We all want to edification, and we all want to edify this nation. Man, that tongue twister right there, man. I got all twisted up. You saw that? But anyway, thank you for being here, man. All praises to the Most High. This is the Road Trip Kingdom Builders, Road Trippers, Akim and Akatim, right? And we want to remember that we're here to always build and move forward. One foot in front of the next, right? You're walking a tightrope. I had a conversation with one of my ox today. You know, it makes sense. Literally, the metaphor or the analogy, whichever one you want to use, for walking that tightrope. You literally have no gap between the feet. One toe touches the heel, and then another toe touches another heel. It takes focus, it takes patience, and it takes time. Shout out to my brother Zakaria for giving me that, you know. because we were talking about the tightrope. This is not a broad road. And like he said, there's a strong wind coming from the east, right? And maybe a blizzard from the north, right? But you got to stay focused. And like he said, you're walking with an elephant on your back. On one side, you got a pit of fire. On the other side, you got a deep chasm of water that's bottomless, right? So we have to stay focused. We got this, y'all. And very road trip appropriate. Please be safe out there as you're driving to and fro up and down the road in your respective places. Especially if you got those little kiddies in the car, right? The children, man. The children, right? Shalom and shalom, man. I love each and every single one of y'all. And you know the program, man. It's always all praises to the Most High and shalom, right? I love you all, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Yahweh willing. All praises to the Most High. See you. Shalom.